Some of Mamdani's far-left allies want to primary Hakeem Jeffries and other NYC Democrats. Hakeem has said, essentially, try. Leader Hakeem Jeffries is focused on taking back the House from the MAGA extremists who just ripped healthcare away from millions of Americans, Jeffries' senior advisor Andre Richardson told CNN. However, if Team Gentrification wants a primary fight, our response will be forceful and unrelenting. We will teach them and all their incumbents a painful lesson on June 23rd, 2026. See, he only used the Team Gentrification line because Mamdani's team has failed to properly establish themselves as advocates of affordable living in New York City. Really, it's his fault. He should be primaried, of course. I only saw from Ken Klippenstein clipping it. You know what? He is called Klippenstein. I think we should work with that. Oh, shit. There's even newer stuff from Jeffries himself.
CNN has new reporting that some progressives who empowered Mamdani to victory now want to primary you and other Democrats in New York City. The co-chair of the New York City's Democratic Socialists of America says he thinks you're picking fights, quote, with the left instead of focusing on fighting the right. His words. How do you respond?
I have no idea what these people are talking about. We are going to continue to focus our efforts as we did on the House floor in connection with Donald Trump's one big ugly bill on pushing back against the extremism that has been unleashed on the American people. It's clear to us as House Democrats, it's clear to us as members of the New York City delegation that the problem is Donald Trump and House Republicans.
CNN has new
phenomenal stuff. Oh, Richie Torres has been doing the same bit.
I think it's fair to say that my colleagues in the New York congressional delegation and we do not care about the Democratic Socialists of America. We're focused on defeating congressional Republicans in the midterms and making Hakeem Jeffries the Speaker of the House and reversing the catastrophic consequences of the Republican reconciliation bill. We could care less about Mickey Mouse primary challenges.
Now, the f does that mean? Get him the f out too? Yeah, he's terrified. Or sorry, terrible. But also, I do feel like it means something that these two dipshits both had the same response, right? That they both had to go like, no, I'm super focused on the Republicans, you know? They know the waters are rising. Everyone must fall in line.
You endorsed Andrew Cuomo in the Democratic primary. He lost the Democratic primary to Zohran Mamdani. Cuomo may still run.
I swear I didn't plan it out that we'd see 3 black people in a row being anti-progressive Democratic centrists. Unfortunately, it's a tried and true strategy.
For mayor in November, may get a different ballot ticket here. Where will your endorsement go in the general election?
I'm not sure yet. I'm going to be talking to all of the individuals that are running. I have not had that conversation, but I am setting up opportunities to have a dialogue and then have a conversation with them because my number one focus is winning the House of Representatives back. That is, Donald Trump is the existential threat to the
same answer. I don't know. Should we consider this bullish? The fact that these corporate Democrats' response isn't super aggressive? Like other people, you know, they're saying, oh, they want to primary you. Oh, they want to get rid of you. Oh, they think you're not standing up to Trump. And their response is not to go, oh, these fake socialists have no place in our party. Well, somebody did say that. Who was the person who said that? Said that these socialists have no place in our party. Was that Richie Torres in another section of that interview? It was Torres? Okay, let me see if I can find that. No, it wasn't. It was Phillips. Dean Phillips.
And, you know, one of the things that I guess one of the questions here is the current DNC chair, Ken Martin, fellow Minnesotan, used you as an example in saying the party is a big tent. It can welcome people from different ideological, geographic perspectives. I think he used the example of you couldn't win a race in Ilhan Omar's district and she couldn't win a race in yours. Is there room for you and Mamdani in the Democratic Party?
You know, I think it's a fine question. I think it's one that many Republicans have been asking about whether there's room for traditional conservatives in a party now led by MAGA Republicans like Donald Trump. The answer ultimately, I think, is no. You know, we do share many of the same values. In fact, most Americans share a lot of the same values. But as a political party, yes, you want diversity. You want some differences of opinion, perspective, life story, politics, and experience. But when you have socialists in the Democratic Party, I don't know how anybody could argue that that would be beneficial for the party or for the country. Therein lies the great challenge. Same thing on the right, Omar. Is MAGA the future of the Republican Party? If it is, there is going to be a new, grand, successful third party in America because the overwhelming majority of...
Jesus Christ, this guy's stupid. Are you kidding me? When you stick by the playbook, no matter how crusty and yellow it is, god damn. Yeah, dude, MAGA is super unpopular. The Republican Party is at risk of fracturing into a third party at any moment. There's no consensus at all.
Americans want neither far left or far right politics. They want decency, they want common sense, competency, and cooperation.
Right, very smart. Former U.S. Rep. Dean Phillips, thank you. But the sitting people in power, the people who actually have to worry about stuff like real... Why is Alan Dershowitz trending? The people who are actually in power are very clearly, like, aware of the fact that Mamdani represents some kind of mandate. Somebody linked this. Apparently, Richie Torres is trying to steal Mamdani's flow by doing these street interviews, but the campaign deleted it. Like, see, this post is unavailable from Rep Richie, but this is the video. I haven't seen it.
Which did not appear in one day. It's clearly an accumulation that's been here for several days. Like, where's sanitation? Like, where's the NYPD? I don't see anyone here. I have not seen a single police officer. I have not seen a single sanitation worker. I have not seen a single public health worker. It's as if the city is absentee in what is one of the most heavily trafficked commercial corridors in the city.
Damn, quite a bit of charisma. Do you think he actually believes that? Like, do they think MAGA will go away once Trump can't run anymore? I think that for, like, 80 years, the Democratic Party has had an internal corporate-backed mandate, which is you can play around, but don't go too far left. And I think that that mandate has been reaffirmed day after day, year after year to everybody, old and new, within the Democratic Party. Not as much of an issue in the Republican Party. They were never at risk of going too far left. Over and over, and eventually, like, over time, the line for what too far left means shifted further to the right. Thank you, Bill Clinton. And as a consequence, now a significant number of centrist corporate Dems, the only thing they really believe is that the left can't work. Like, they don't have to be warned against going right. Dems go right all the time. It's the left that the corporate donors are worried about. So that's where the mandate, that's where the line gets drawn. God, he looks uncanny. Torres is such a freak, dog. He's the one who wrote a letter to Twitch saying that Hassan should be permabanned and executed for criticizing Israel or whatever. He looks like AI. A little bit. They definitely facetune the video. I mean, to be fair, corporate donors have been rapidly decreasing as a proportion of total donos for Dems over the past decade. I mean, not once you count the super PACs. Also, it's not just about the money you raise for the campaigns. It's about the power corporations have to decide who wins outside of the nations. For example, Twitter doesn't have to donate a penny in either direction. Elon, since he owns the site, can single-handedly, like, turn it into an apparatus, a propaganda machine in either direction, you know? Whether or not you get good jobs numbers, whether or not new plants or factories are open in your state, whether or not these businesses work with your administration or comply with regulations. Look, I personally think that it's good news that these people feel the need to answer to Mamdani, okay? I think that's a hell of a lot better than the alternative. And as long as we're talking about Mamdani, what the hell is this?
My name is Zahran Mamdani, and this is the Dinner Party Interview. I am running to be the next mayor of this city.
It's like we're on a date with Mamdani.
Because this is the most expensive city in the United States of America. And it's also the wealthiest one in the wealthiest country in the history of the world. And yet 1 in 4 New Yorkers are living in poverty. I'm running to make the city affordable.
He is so baby girl.
My first apartment that I rented is the one that I am living in right now, and I'm paying $2,300 for a 1-bedroom in Astoria. I do have a public library card because, like many New Yorkers, I tried and failed at becoming a screenwriter, and I did that at the Bryant Park Library. Today, I have taken the train, I have biked, I have run. That's just the nature of running to be the mayor of this great, incredible city. And my train line, I live equidistant between the NW and the MR, the many cities in one. I moved here when I was 7 years old. I grew up here, and at different stages of my life, I've come to love and know this city across the different neighborhoods of the 5 boroughs. Our leaders. You can see the video of me yelling at Tom Homan. That's how I sound. The sounds that came into my mind are ones that will lose me the election, so... I'm walking here. I am currently 40 minutes into episode 2 of White Lotus season 3. I keep falling asleep. I'm watching it in about 10-minute increments. Depends on which one is easier.
He's a very busy guy. He's a very busy guy.
Nice. Gotta go Zabar's. Mets. Poppy seed bagel with scallion cream cheese. Right now, I'm going through a Ray Shremmerd phase, so I'm listening to This Could Be Us and Swang. The last thing I thought about buying was a Paddington Bear sweater that was advertised to me every day on Instagram. Great cinema, Paddington. A decade ago, I think we were still in the midst of an affordability crisis. I think it continues to be that issue, but at a greater scale, where we're losing thousands of New Yorkers every year to places where they can actually afford to pay for their rent or their childcare or their groceries or even their Metro card. $2.90 is now out of reach of 1 in 5 New Yorkers. Failed leadership of the past and the present. If I succeed, it will look like a city that will be more than a place where New Yorkers just struggle. It'll be one where they can actually live out those dreams that brought them here. And if I fail, we will see a former governor return to power in City Hall who will continue his record of betraying working class New Yorkers while claiming to serve them. There are a number of parking lots that we have today that could be more productively used to build that housing. There are also a number of vacant lots. Ultimately, what we have to do is build enough housing such that every New Yorker can actually afford to live in the city.
It's crazy to me that it's not standard practice in American cities to eminent domain abandoned lots that haven't been used for anything. Like an abandoned lot where the owner might pay property taxes of $100,000 a year, but they sit in it because they're waiting for some big bid. And it's like, no, you don't get to keep an empty lot like 2 blocks from the city core indefinitely because you're waiting on a good deal. Okay, you will we are subjecting you now to either a horrendous tax or you will give it to the city. We'll buy it out from you and we'll decide what to do with it. It's crazy. Like, seriously, walk around. I mean, LA is an obvious one, but even in Seattle, there are multiple big empty lots within a few blocks of the Seattle center, and Seattle is a very dense city. Like, Seattle's very tightly compacted. It's not like Los Angeles. LA, you expect to have empty lots, but like Seattle?
And that we can welcome those who want to become New Yorkers. I think ultimately we have to be driven by outcomes. And if our outcome is public safety, then when we look at involuntary confinement, we see that it has a mixed result at best. And what we have actually seen is there are a number of other approaches in our city, best typified by a model known as clubhouses, of which there are some known as Fountain House, which have been shown to...
There was a bunch of discourse about this on Twitter earlier, like a few days ago, about bringing back single bedroom houses where, like, we need to provide a wider range of affordable housing options. So in cities, and this wouldn't be ideal, but it should still be an option. It should be an option for you to, for like a small amount, rent out a single room with a bed and a desk and have communal bathroom and shower. And you could fit like so many people in a single building, basically. Like a dorm. I mean, it would essentially just be a dorm, which is true. That should be an option. We used to have those in like every city in the developed world. Those, what are they called? Not boarding houses. What am I thinking of? What was the term for them? Hostels? No, because I'm talking about permanent occupancy, not hostels. Single room occupancy? Yeah, but like a term. I'm pretty sure boarding house is right. Maybe it is. Maybe that is the right term. Asylums? No, not like asylums. Tenements? No, tenements are different. Single room occupancy. One of the big contributing factors to American housing being so expensive is that our houses are too big. You can get like single, like the starter size for a lot of single family homes, just like detached houses. It's like 1,200 square feet. That's a big house. There are places you can get like 300 square feet little apartments, and they're small, but like we need a wider range. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. See, you've got the bed, the nightstand, the desk, the lamp, the TV, I guess, and then you've a shared common area and bathrooms and stuff. It should be an option, that's all. Vosh wants New York to become Kowloon. I want everywhere to become Kowloon. Like, if you could live in New York City, in a place like this, for $1,000 a month, which would be a lot, but I'm factoring in New York City, and I'm pricing it high because it's New York City, like in Manhattan, I think a lot of people would jump at the opportunity. Would jump about, like, single professionals, like for $1,000 getting to live in Manhattan, you know? You're just saying there should be more options, right? Yeah, just more options, a wider range.
decrease rates of hospitalization for New Yorkers with serious mental illness by about 45%, increase rates of employment by more than 50%, and only cost $4,000 a year for their services. I will fight Donald Trump whenever he puts New Yorkers within the crosshairs of his federal government, and that's something we've been missing as we've seen Eric Adams offer collaboration, Andrew Cuomo offer cowardice. I will offer courage. I would be proud to partner with the federal administration as the only campaign that has a plan to do just that through a network of municipal-owned grocery stores, one in each borough, that will guarantee cheaper groceries for New Yorkers who are right now being priced out of produce. I will ensure that we protect the First Amendment, which is a bedrock of our Constitution and one of the many things that makes me proud to be an American.
Disqualified. The First Amendment has an exception. You can't criticize Israel. Get out of here. Go. Skedaddle.
And yet what we've seen is a federal government that is looking to squash that very right, and a number of institutions and individuals who are echoing that repression here in our city. And I am going to break from the lessons of Eric Adams and instead ensure that we protect our Constitution, we protect our students, and we protect the values of this city. I will make it very clear that at the core of my belief is a belief in the Constitution, and that is the right of each and every American to engage with, to use, to protest, and ultimately that this is also what it means to be a New Yorker. So much of what we are proud of in this city is a legacy of those kinds of protests. And that's, I think, how we will look back on those who protest against wars today as we do against those who protested against wars in decades past. I think of the ones in my lifetime, I most admire the de Blasio.
Who can afford $1,000 a month? Who's affording a flop house at $1,000 a month? There's some people in YouTube chat who are incredulous about, listen, $1,000 a month for a place like that in Manhattan would be a dream unparalleled by the expectations of the people who live there right now, okay? Like, it's New York City, all right? Yeah, people would fight to the death over a price like that.
Administration's accomplishments, especially with regards to universal pre-K. In all time, I would say Fiorello LaGuardia, who was an incredible mayor who also has the nickname Little Flower, which is the name of a cafe in Astoria on 36th Avenue. They can't see what they cannot imagine, and ultimately they can't imagine it because the idea of fighting for working people is something that is beyond many of them. These ideas that we put forward are ones that we are not only confident in the urgency of them, but also the ability to implement them, and that's what we're going to do, whether it's a rent freeze, whether it's making buses fast and free, or delivering universal childcare. He supported the fight to make buses free in 2023, and we made one bus route free in each of the 5 boroughs, and saw ridership increase by 38%.
Oh, I love him so much. Thank you. That was a wonderful date. He's 2 years older than me, senpai. Thank you. It's like when you're playing the romantic visual novels, you know? Get this man on Hot Ones. He is 100% going on Hot Ones before the general. Are you paying for the meal and tipping? I probably make quite a bit more than he does. He's just a state assemblyman. There's no way he makes more than I do as a popular live streamer. I would have to pay. He'd probably insist because he's nice. He shouldn't.